Hello, welcome back to the Revolution Approved podcast. I'm Jen,
I am Ken.
and this is the Holistic Revolution. All of this, and back there, and over there. And we are in Wyandotte, Michigan, if you don't know.
And I think this is episode 6, 5, something. It's episode something. I don't know. I should have looked before we started.
5 or 6.
Yes, so if you're new, we are located in Wyandotte. We are a one-on-one training facility in Wyandotte. If you're one of the 3 people who routinely watches these videos, welcome back.
Hi, Mom.
And our kids. Today we're going to be talking about a very, very, very hot button, controversial topic. There's no way to get around it. Cardiovascular training.
Ooh, cardio.
Cardio, also known as cardio, right? So, first things first, let's define it.
What's cardio?
What's cardio?
Cardio is walking on a treadmill for 90 minutes, hanging on for dear life.
At a 15% incline?
With the incline all the way up.
Okay,
That's cardio.
That's one
Yeah.
version of cardio. Okay, that's one. See, the issue with a lot, yes, the issue with a lot of that, and trust me, we're gonna rip on that here in a few minutes, so stay tuned. But the problem, or maybe the issue at hand, is defining. Because once you define, well, what is cardio? Because cardio can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Obviously, in America, we think, like you just said, low and slow, right? Long and boring. I'm on a rower for 45 minutes. I'm walking on the treadmill. I went and ran 10 miles. That style, which is, even though the research we've known has destroyed that as a concept for what most people are trying to get out of it, which would be body fat loss, like 25 years ago. People, it's still numero uno. Go into any gym, they're sold out on the treadmills, man. But
Yeah.
from my personal perspective, I would look at cardiovascular training as anything that elevates your heart rate for a prolonged period of time.
Okay.
So with that vague of a definition, anything could be cardio. A circuit of strength training moves could be cardio.
Oh, absolutely.
Sprinting is cardio. I know that's our preferred method of, well, at least mine. I don't know about you. A preferred method of cardiovascular training. As the old adage goes, there's lots of ways to skin a cat.
Chasing your kids around the neighborhood.
Yes, shoveling snow. It's Michigan. We're in Michigan. It just
Ooh.
snowed again. Shoveling snow
Nice.
could be considered cardiovascular training. So
Yeah.
anything that alters your breathing pattern and elevates your heart rate, and you start to sweat for a prolonged period of time, we could consider it cardio.
Cardio.
Okay. So with that being said, we kind of hitched on you made fun of it right off the bat in your own unique way, the low and slow thing, which you don't partake.
Treadmill.
You
Or you got the ellipticals. You can get on there and
or the stair mill.
oh, the stair mill.
Stair mill. Mm-hmm.
It's even better when you do like kickbacks on it.
Yes, you kick. I actually knew a person that
Kickbacks.
got kicked in the head once by that. A girl kicked her literally in the head. Kicked her headphones right off her head. Yeah. With that stupid back leg thing. I mean, unbelievable. Does it work? No. But that's not the point.
Is it even fun?
No.
mean,
I think it looks ridiculous.
Why are you doing it?
But whatever.
Because you need to work your glutes?
Yeah.
Go do some squats in the
Yes.
corner.
So maybe that's a good point. Maybe that's a good point. Before we adequately trash that, maybe we should say it is of our humble opinion that the best forms of, see, we use the word conditioning around here. We say hashtag conditioning, not cardio. Okay.
Conditioning, yeah.
Because it kind of turns a gear in people's mind to where we're talking about cardiovascular pursuits that will enhance activities outside of the cardiovascular activity. If that makes sense. So like running.
as?
So like, okay, I'm not athletic at all. I pick a sport that's super unathletic. Let's pick running. I run in a straight line from point A to point B. Okay, run. So therefore, ipso.
Send your hate mail
Yes.
to Kenneth at the Holistic Revolution.
I'm just using it. I'm not saying I love all runners out there, But what I'm saying is, I run from point A to point B. That running, while we can make the case if it was at the proper intensity for strengthening your heart and helping your blood pressure and all those other things that come
Okay.
along with cardiovascular training, it's the benefit stops at the activity. Like there's no carryover as to where I could say, well, walking with a sled, I could philosophically make the argument that, well, it's going to strengthen your hamstrings, it's going to strengthen your glutes, it's going to strengthen your calves.
Yeah.
I could make the argument that that would be beneficial in other areas, like one of our other favorites, prolonged walking with the wagon. Right, like the wheelbarrow, yeah,
Oh, that's
right,
behind you, yep.
right
Here.
there. Okay, strengthening your traps, strengthening your grip, your
Sure.
neck, your upper back. Okay, guys always want to challenge themselves and bring in 85 bags of groceries at one time from into their house.
Oh, yeah, one trip.
One trip.
One trip.
Well, walking with the wagon will help. That will be a carryover. See, as to where the carryover with, even though if I was to do something, I would pick, like, we have a ski erg in here. I love the ski erg. I know you like the rower and you like the bike.
Yes.
Okay. The ski, it kind of, they have their benefits stop at the rowing. It's for rowing. You're not going to get really any other added benefits. So what we would say is, or what I would say is,
Well,
pick-
besides endurance, okay, if you're looking to increase your endurance, that can help.
But
right?
hold on. Let's stop this for a second because we have to be accurate, or else we're going to get hated on. Endurance is movement pattern specific, though, too.
Okay.
So again,
True.
that's why Michael Phelps is the man in the pool. He's not the man on the track. Lance Armstrong's the man on the bike, not the man in the pool.
Okay.
So,
Fair enough.
So they are.
Fair
So
enough.
again, even though we know that more running won't make you a better runner, we've established that and talked about it to death.
Improving it
Improving it numerous times and blah 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 in the books and so on and so forth. Your gains stop with whatever you're doing. So like
Okay.
getting on that bike erg and doing 10,000 meters, let's say, it won't necessarily make you better on the ski erg. They're not that correlatable.
Absolutely. That's true.
As to where
That's true.
I was just going to say, as to where the best we find here at the Holistic Revolution, the best conditioning protocols involve strength. Walking with a medicine ball and a chest carry, heavy medicine ball, dumbbell farmer's
Because the
walks.
crossover, because your body doesn't realize.
Yeah, because
you're carrying dumbbells and not groceries, or your twins by their arms.
by the back of their necks.
Maybe I've done once or twice.
Yeah.
But, so you're saying the crossover between weightlifting conditioning and
A lot of people would also
cardio conditioning
Yes. Well,
is going to be,
Yes, and this is why you have, look what has come in recent years, where this week's the Arnold.
okay,
What's one of the most popular events at the Arnold? The Strongman. Probably the most popular event. It's more popular than bodybuilding, that's for sure. Who gives a shit about bodybuilding? Strongman is by far the most popular event, in my personal opinion.
Okay.
What is Strongman doing? These guys are carrying yokes, they're carrying heavy stones, they're deadlifting stuff, they're walking with big logs.
Mm-hmm.
So strongman type conditioning, wagon walking, sled pulling, so on and so forth. I think, yes, are you going to get the heart benefit? Will your heart rate be elevated? Absolutely.
yeah,
Depending upon the intensity of the load you use, you're going to call into play a tremendous amount of muscle. So it can be very, very beneficial. And now we're not talking about someone who, like your average person who wants, as our friend Jason Gusick from Applied Strength and Conditioning would say, the sweaty generalist.
okay,
Shout out to Applied Strength and Conditioning. They want to be moderately successful at everything.
sure.
They're not a specialist.
Your average,
Yeah.
average,
Yes. So
for
they
what
don't
that's worth,
right.
gym goer.
So they don't want to be a power lifter who can deadlift 700 pounds but can't walk up a flight
Yeah.
of stairs. They don't want to be a runner who can run 26 miles but can't pick up a 20-pound
I
suitcase.
just want to look good in a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I
that-
want to be able to play with my kids.
Yeah,
I want to prolong life.
Yeah, a generalist. So what is a generalist looking for? A generalist we could define maybe as someone who, what do most of our clients want? They want low body fat,
Okay.
They want to look like they work out. They've put in a physical effort at once in their life.
Okay.
And they want to have good health markers. Low blood pressure, low cholesterol,
Yes.
an appropriate resting heart rate. They want to be able to recover from training, and they want to be able to do, as we say, live their fitness. So if somebody says, hey, we're going to go out for a hike this weekend, or we're going to go kayaking this weekend, they don't lose their mind and go, oh my God, I can't do that.
Yeah, they
That
want to
kinda
be
thing.
able to just go and participate.
And
They want to be
participate.
a participant
Yeah,
in life.
and I would say that if we're using that as our measuring stick for cardiovascular activity, then the low and slow stuff, the bike only, the ski erg only, the going out and running, it's woefully inadequate
Yeah, it's kind of a waste of your time.
for the general. Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Now, unless that person who wants to be a generalist is in such dire consequences, and they're coming in here, and we have had them with people who are over 100, the highest resting heart rate we've ever had on record here
Yeah.
on assessment is 120.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like a 50% intensity run for some people. That's their heart all the time.
Or you
So they
have
have
an
to be-
obscene amount of body fat,
Yes.
right? That you kind of need to work through. You maybe
Yeah.
you just need your heart rate to be up
Yes.
for a prolonged amount of time in addition to your original.
Yes, so they have to get in shape to be in shape. They have to become trainable.
Okay.
Part of that would be considered a cardiovascular program. We're gonna lower their resting heart rate. We're gonna lower their blood pressure. So the cardio is way up here. The strength is kind of here. And then as they get in better and better shape, this low and slow stuff goes away. And this goes like this
True.
to where this cardio
Yeah.
portion is non-existent. So, because as you well know, because you see me in training here all the time, what is one of my favorite things to do is monitor rest.
Yes.
So I'm telling you guys out there, whatever first of all, most of you aren't even monitoring rest. If you go to a big box gym, you're not monitoring rest, you know it. And if you say
Yeah.
you are, you're lying, because I've worked in big box gyms my whole life and I've seen it. So monitor your rest, and you'll find out that you're taking a minute and a half break in between sets. Now, over time, whittle that down to say, 20 seconds.
It's hard.
You'll be sucking
It's
big
hard,
wind,
yeah.
okay? So if you're gonna sit here and tell me that 4 rounds of 15 reps per leg lunges with a 20-second break in between each set, or squatting with a short break, deadlifting with a short break, any movement that you can think of with a pared down rest period is not difficult, you're nuts. And would not be considered cardio, you're double nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the bottom line is cardio is short for cardiovascular, which is heart for all of our medical students out there, right? Cardiovascular has to do with your heart. And if you are raising your heart rate, you are working your cardio.
Yes.
So if you are doing your squats, like you said, with, a 20-second break in between sets, not only is your breathing pattern
Sure.
ultimately changing, right? But you're gassed, your heart rate's up, you're probably sweating profusely, and
Metabolism.
your metabolism is going up because now you're working those muscles faster, more, in a
So-
small amount of time, which ultimately is boosting all of your internal systems.
And this is the same, and it needs to be said too. One of the reasons why low and slow is so popular is because, let's face facts.
It's easy.
It's easy.
Yeah.
Okay, it's easy.
It's boring, but it's
well,
easy.
yeah, it's easy. Okay, so once we get past, and I know somebody will send me an email, like I already crapped on the running thing earlier. Someone will send me an email and say, well, I have this heart issue or that. We're talking just in general terms, normal, healthy people. Okay, so you have to get out of the comfort zone. You have to, after about 8 weeks, 12 weeks maybe at the most, if the program has been properly executed, you're not going to get any more. There's research, and again, I should link some studies in the bottom of this YouTube video if I get the time. But the research shows, Charles Poliquin used to talk about it many years ago, that after 8 to 12 weeks, no matter how much more you add, you're not going to get in any better shape. So the return on your investment is super low. Okay. So for all that time, and again, you go to any big box gym, you have women on treadmills for in excess of 60 minutes, 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Spin classes are 90 minutes. Well, if we know intensity trumps duration, then is 15 minutes really hard better than 90 minutes easy? if recovery was considered the same, if everyone had equal recovery, not like
Yeah, I
you
mean-
suck at recovery and I'm really great.
If something, I mean, think about it. If any task is extremely hard, can you do it for 90 minutes straight?
No.
I can't.
No. So there's something to be said for that. So you have to take into account intensity. One of the caveats, or another reason why people don't want to engage in the higher intensity stuff is because if you're into lifting big weights and you start cutting rest periods down, you say, hey, I'm going to take Ken's rest period challenge here. I normally take 90 seconds break. I'm going to whittle that down to 30 seconds. Guess what? You'll find out very quickly. You can't lift the same amount of weight.
Well, yeah.
Right? So now, from an injury prevention perspective, that's good because lower weight, sort of less risk of injury, per se, right? Okay, so if I squat 100, what's
That-
more dangerous, squatting 400 or 100?
Yeah, but that can be argued.
Yeah, it
depending
could
who
be
you're
argued,
talking
right?
to.
Okay, so that person who's into lifting heavy weights, their ego will not allow them to be sucking big wind, I'm telling you, and have to grab the 20-pound dumbbells when they're normally used to grabbing 50s, 60s, or 70s.
True.
So there's an ego hit to it, okay? You just mentioned it earlier. It's really freaking hard. Okay, the assault bike at this facility, the Wind bike, owns people's soul. It's a soul collector, man. This thing owns people mentally so bad to where we've had clients flip out, cuss me out, slam water bottles on the floor, cry, all this other stuff because it is so brutal. I promise you, 10 rounds of 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, which last time I checked, that's 10 minutes worth. Well, that's 5 minutes worth of work.
But 30 seconds on
Hard.
max.
Yes, 30 seconds
Not
on.
just like, I'm just gonna ride for 30 and then I'm gonna break for 10
Yeah.
or break for 30 or break for whatever.
Yeah,
And then just kind of leisurely go back at it. No, I mean, this is
Yeah.
as hard as you can.
Yeah, which, as we well know, is 5 minutes worth of work with a 5-minute break. 1-to-1 work
Oh,
to
yeah.
rest, okay? So that's roasting people out.
Yeah.
Roasting them out big time,
For
okay?
sure.
So I think now that we've sufficiently bashed, I think low and slow, have we sufficiently or should we go on more? Okay, so long story short, put the final nail in the coffin of low and slow. If someone came in here to me and said to you or to me, hey, I'm looking to lose, I want to be sub 10% body fat.
Which nobody would.
I want to be sub 10% body fat. I'm around 20% body fat now. I want to look like I work. All the things we talked about earlier. Go run for a half hour wouldn't be in the plan.
No.
Go walk on the treadmill for a half hour wouldn't be on the plan. Now,
No.
if you like to do that for other reasons, like you like to kayak, you like to ride your bike around town,
Yes.
tootle around, like Mary Poppins. Is that who wrote? Did she ride a bike?
Kenneth at theholisticrevolution.com.
Right? Like tootling around on your bike, right? Okay. And you know what? That's cool. People like to rollerblade. Do people still rollerblade?
I don't know.
Okay. Somebody out there likes to roll.
1990 called. They want their activities back.
I got my blue rollerblades with the bearings, the special bearings in them. Okay, so no,
Okay,
if you want to go,
if you just want to be active,
there's nothing wrong with
you
that.
want to go outside and just be active.
Yes, but
Please do.
Yes.
Please go out and just be active.
absolutely be as active as possible. But the only problem that the Holistic Revolution will have is when
The only? Clearly,
one.
we have many.
We got a lot of problems. Well, we're not going to talk about that. The biggest issue would be as soon as you attach a caveat to that, I want to lose body fat, which again, that's the number one thing that most people come here for.
Okay, let's be honest. Most people that walk in the door say, I want to lose weight.
Whatever.
Okay. So that has to be clarified into losing weight and losing body fat are two completely different things. We'll lay that out there. We can talk about that later.
Okay.
If anybody cares, let us know.
But we'll say
We can dive into that later. But let's just make the distinction.
yes. So we'll say
Nobody's coming in and saying, I want to be sub 10% because
Okay.
nobody knows what that means.
Yes, that's Ken in Trainerland. Thank you for clarifying that. So we're going to say weight means body fat. I know what they mean, and you know what they mean. They don't know what they mean. We know what they mean. It's body fat, okay? They want to.
Ipso facto.
Yes. They want, lest we forget, they want to lose body fat. So that plan of 30 minutes of trail running or 30 minutes, it's not in there.
Ken, you wrote me a program, and I don't have any cardio.
Yeah.
Okay, well, your 10 minutes of pushing the sled back and forth or the wagon back and forth is your cardio.
Yes. And that's something that they don't realize. They don't realize because it's not presented that way.
Well,
Because
it's not your marketed,
sure,
right? Your
yeah. Giant corporations don't have
yes,
stakes in sleds
yes.
and wagons. They have stakes in giant
You
mechanical
go
machines.
into a giant purple gym and they're gonna have 47
what's
treadmills
with the
and ellipticals and bikes.
And you know what? That's another thing too. It's like
They don't have sleds anywhere. They don't even have barbells anywhere.
What's with the color purple too?
I don't know.
Like every gym is purple now. Like it's got a like
Purple or lime green?
yeah, that irritating green. That's irritating to me. That
Yeah.
color green, that like neon-y light green, irritating. We're black and red, whatever. Anyway,
I know, the people that do black and red are assholes.
there it is. Yeah, they have problems.
Yeah.
But so that long and slow would not be in the program because again, one thing that another thing that people have to realize, even though they're putting it out there, they're saying it at the moment. Not everyone has all the time in the world.
True.
Right. So we get girls coming in here from other places who shall remain nameless, who are working out, not training because they're not monitoring any of the variables. Remember, that's another podcast. Put the pin in that for another podcast. We could talk about that. They're not monitoring the variables, so they're working out in excess of 20 hours a week.
Oh, easy, yeah. An hour in the morning, 2 hours of cardio at night,
Yeah.
come back during the weekend and do,
Yeah.
You
So that is a whole
Punishment cardio.
That is a whole lot of wasted time and energy and into doing things that could be more beneficial.
oh, and it's demoralizing.
Right. Yeah. So it's just
To
like.
be on a treadmill for 90 minutes when you don't want to be, and it sucks.
What is the
bro.
longest you've ever been on a piece of equipment?
Probably 90 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, that's.
What was that?
I mean, it was probably a treadmill, hanging on for dear life, trying not to fall off the back.
If I would have seen
falling
that,
asleep
if I
like
would have
a-
seen that, I would have ripped on you.
People wrapping their hands around it so when they fall asleep.
I think I've done 45 minutes. I used to do 45 minutes on the stair mill back in my
Ugh,
younger days.
that's brutal,
Because
too.
again, coming from the body.
30 minutes on a stair mill, I'm done.
Yes, coming from the body.
I lose all sense of living.
Yeah, coming from the bodybuilding background, that was like mandatory. You had to do
Yeah.
like 45 minutes on a stair mill.
Yeah, show
'Cause-
prep.
Yeah, because that's what burned body fat. And little did I know as an idiot 20-year-old that it was drugs that burned body fat, not training.
Oh, well, okay.
So how stupid am I? I wasted half of my life on a freaking stair mill stupidly, but that's another story for another day. I'll sufficiently shred bodybuilding in a future podcast. But to summarize, to finish up, I think whatever you do, and then I'll let you talk here for a second because I know you yell at me if I interrupt you.
No, please.
I think that whatever you're doing, first of all, obviously we establish a goal. We're trying to lose body fat.
Yes.
Or we're trying to get in better cardiovascular shape.
Well, first and foremost, let's establish what the goal is. If you come in and say, I want to lose weight, okay, the question is going to be, what do you mean by weight, A, and B, why? Okay, well,
Sure.
I want to be able to go and ride my bike with my family down the trails. They go every weekend and I just can't hang. I want to be able to do that. Okay, now we have a sufficient goal. Okay, continue.
Okay, so goal is established. Then how do we find a, let's call it minimal effective dose
Yes.
to get a person to reach that goal? So we get through that goal, as Louis Simmons says, you don't take your dying breath in the gym, okay? Leave something.
Yeah.
So we're trying to find, okay, what's the minimal amount of work that this person needs to do, the minimal amount of stimuli that they need to do to be able to see the goals they want, see the gains they want, okay? Whether that be resting heart rate gains or lowering, okay? Blood pressure lowering, body fat loss, as you talked about, strength, so on, so whatever, okay?
Yes.
And then once we develop that plan, executing it properly.
Yes. Execution.
Yeah, that's the biggest key. So the problem with that low and slow mindset is it's so debilitating. Like you said, boredom is a real thing. It's not just, oh, so-and-so
Oh,
is
yeah.
lazy or so-and-so is this way. It's like, no, this shit is god-awful boring, man. It's
Well, and
brutal.
let's face it, when you're doing something that you don't enjoy,
You don't enjoy, yeah,
you
it's
don't
like,
want to
you're not
continue
gonna
to
wanna
do
do it,
So
exactly.
you're not going to stick with it.
Yeah.
So we need to find something that is going to not only get you results that you need in the minimal amount of time and energy, but also something that's going to keep you motivated and keep you stimulated
Sure.
to where you want to show up on day 2 and day 3. You don't go, oh God, this sucks.
Yeah.
And then you turn around and you find something else to do, or I just can't come in today, I'm too tired, or I don't feel good, or I decided to work late, or whatever.
Yeah. So applying a little bit of creativity is good.
Oh, creativity is fantastic.
It's good. And this
In
goes
the gym especially.
And this goes back to our point. So
Love
if you're a person who cannot stand electromagnetic devices, i.e. treadmills and bikes and ellipticals and this and that and the other, then maybe your thing is, okay, a moderately repped, let's say 10 to 20 reps. So you're getting a little bit of an endurance benefit from that, or maybe 15 to 25 reps of a 5-move or 6-move circuit.
Oh, yeah.
That covers your whole body.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And then you establish that. So here's some free piece of training advice. Establish a 6-move thing. Start off with a lot of rest in between each set. Maybe if you're really blown out, maybe 3 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes. Okay? If you're in decent shape, maybe 2 minutes. And then the first thing you do is, because conditioning is your goal, is you whittle the rest period down.
Yep.
Every 6 workouts, whittle the rest period down. Change the moves around. Change the order. Add in new moves. Take away moves. Blah, 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 blah. That way, the possibilities that you have for training are limitless. I mean, how many movements are there for your back, your legs, your...
The possibilities, if you use creativity in the gym, realistically, you should not do the same move twice in probably 2 years.
Yeah, there's no reason why boredom kind of...
Sorry. It's winter.
Man, okay, you need some water? You good? Okay. You need some...
No, hopped up on
there's
cardio.
no, there's no need to get bored. It shouldn't come into your thing as to where out of a glass, you're rocking your bottle. Very nice. There's no need to get bored. There's no
Sorry,
need.
it's really dry.
There's no need for any kind of going, oh God, that sucks, blah blah blah. Now, with that being said, let's talk about, because we're gonna get it in the emails. What about extra workouts?
Oh,
What about cardio as an extra
Extra
workout?
workouts.
Okay, so this is a hot button topic. We're experiencing it right now at the facility.
Yeah.
We have a few people who are doing cardiovascularly based training as an extra workout. Okay, so like on a day that they don't normally
Ken,
train.
why is so-and-so on that treadmill when I saw her training this morning on weights? I don't get that.
Well, there's two purposes. There's two purposes for that, okay? Number one, if we have a lot of volume going into strength training, if we're doing a lot, like let's say, okay, it's Monday, we're doing max effort lower. The volume might be low, but the intensity is very high,
Sure.
okay? So then if I know that I'm behind the 8 ball recovery wise, if I know that recovery is an issue for me, okay? Or I know, hey, listen, my conditioning is a little bit suspect, because this is the thing I should have mentioned earlier too, is that as you improve in your conditioning, your ability to lift more and more and more weights, do more and more sets of work,
Yes.
will improve.
Absolutely.
He who does the most work wins, okay? So it's like back in my big box days, I used to sit back and laugh. You'd see gym members do 8 to 12 sets in an hour. Our clients were routinely doing 30, 35, 40 sets in an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, just the volume was insane, right? And they experienced great results with that. So that person might come back in the evening and they might ride the bike easy. They might stretch after that. They might do some light wagon walking, some light sled pulling. as a means of what we would call restoration or recovery.
Recovery, sure.
Recovery, okay? So pumping fresh blood into the tissues, enhancing their body's ability to recover from the hard workout that they did earlier, okay? Then if you wanted to look at it and you said, okay, a person was trying to lose weight or trying to lose body fat, that extra workout could take the form of, hey, they're riding 20 some minutes on the bike. Okay, they're burning a few more calories, they're getting their body slowly used to doing more work, and then as that program goes, it's gonna hit that magic 8 to 10 week mark.
Yep.
Where we're at 30 minutes, no more can be done. That's gonna start to drop off, and because they've built up this tolerance to these things
Yes.
through stimuli, we're gonna drop that off, and now we're gonna slowly add in. Here comes this. Here comes this.
Sorry.
Here comes the sprints. So 25 minutes on the bike at 55 RPMs, let's say, a good easy clip, right? Okay.
Okay.
It's gonna turn from that, and it's gonna turn to 30 seconds at 85 RPMs with a 1 minute break.
Okay.
5 rounds. Then we're gonna whittle the break down. The rest, the work will go up, rest will go down. So all roads will lead to intervals. Anyway, man, you're gonna get us dogged out on this YouTube, man. With all this coughing. Anyway, she hasn't been feeling well lately, so she's a trooper for coming in here and doing this today. Taking one for the team, I appreciate it. But that would be the key. So yes, if you walked into the Holistic Revolution, would you see someone on a piece of cardiovascular equipment? Yes, you would.
Please don't freak out. Please don't ask why they're doing it and you aren't.
There's no need to freak out.
Please don't start comparing their training plans to yours,
Yes.
because everybody's different.
Everybody's different.
And everybody's plan is different.
And everybody's plan is different at different times too. There's a reason
Yeah.
and a season, right? You like how I just did that?
No, I didn't.
You didn't mention my clean shavedness either.
Did anybody notice?
Yeah,
Babyface?
yeah. People thought I quit. They're like, "Who's that new guy?"
Babyface McGee?
Yeah, who's that new guy? He looks like he's 17.
I don't know about
Anyway, anyway, so to sum it up, Jen, there's nothing wrong with going out and kayaking and riding your bike and running for 20 minutes because you think it's fun, or you got to get out of your house because your kids are driving you nuts, or so on and so forth.
You want to go for a walk, clear your head? Go.
But when you add in the caveat of I'm trying to do X, that's when we run into the low and slow problem. The reason that the low and slow is still pervasive is because you have multi-billion-dollar companies pumping out ridiculous propaganda saying that you still need to do it. Do you need to be in shape? No.
No.
In our personal opinion, you're much better off doing interval-style training, circuit-based training,
Yep.
always looking to add strength into your program at wherever you can find it. So if that is,
Yes.
if you come by here in the summer, I know obviously it's winter time right now, you're not going to see it, but you come by here in the summer, you'll see people in the parking lot. They're going to be pulling sleds. They're going to be walking with heavy bars on their back. They're going to be carrying medicine balls for distances, for times, for so on and so forth. Making things interesting, making things difficult, and that's where we're going to get our benefit from.
Yeah, absolutely. Make your training benefit you in more ways than one.
It's-
I mean, why not?
And stop wasting your time.
Sorry, it's gonna happen now.
Stop wasting your time in the gym. Make every minute that you're in there count. And this is again, I know we're trying to finish up here, but this is again why strength training always wins. Because you can't do 30 minutes of strength training. You can do 30 minutes straight of cardio, but you can't do 30 minutes of strength training. Right? So it's, because there has to be recovery in there. So it's much more beneficial in a shorter period of time.
Okay.
And then you'll have more time to do things like
Live your life.
recover, take a nap,
Go
sleep
eat.
better, eat, spend time with your sweetheart
I don't have time for that.
when she's not busy coughing all over you. And then, and get the most out of your training, not have your training get the most out of you. Okay? I'm sure we've missed some
Correct.
things because this is a huge topic.
This is a huge
We might
topic.
have-
And if you have any questions or comments, or you just want to talk, you want to ask questions, or you want to give us your opinions, please do. We're trying to open the conversation. We don't want to just hear ourselves talk. We hear ourselves talk constantly. We want to hear everybody else's feelings and ideas and everything, so let us know.
Yes, and like and subscribe. For the 4 of you out there who watch these videos every week, make sure you like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Let's get a conversation started. Like I said, I'm sure we missed something.
Yeah.
We'll go back and revisit it because this is a huge, anytime you're talking, any one of these topics, I mean, strength training, stretching, cardio, they're
yeah.
huge topics. So it's a multi-part thing.
It's a never-ending conversation that we would love to have, so.
So we're good. Are you good?
I'm good.
You good? All right, good.
I'm not going to go and do any cardio.
Okay, yeah, me either. I'm Ken,
I'm Jen.
and we're from the Holistic Revolution. Have a great rest of your day, guys.
Bye.